wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better. Good morning. It's not morning, it's actually really late in the afternoon. But as you guys can see by the title, today I'm going to try out the new skin tint stick that came out from Fenty Beauty. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, and you saw me go into the Sephora store yesterday. So as you can see, went through trying to figure out what shade to get. I have the shade, I have the product. Let's go. So this is the Fenty Eaze Drop Stick Blur Smooth Tint Stick Foundation. This retails for $35 for 0.32 ounces. It comes in 25 shades, and it says it is a light coverage, long wear tint stick with a creamy, smooth texture that instantly blurs while melting into skin for a natural finish. So coverage light to medium, finish is natural, formulation is cream. This crease-proof formula delivers a blurred, smooth second skin finish that resists fading and transferring. Easy to use, the stick helps with all-day hydration. It contains color true pigments that resist oxidation. Plus, it's 100% recyclable. This is what the actual, like I said, shade 21. And then the actual product looks like this. This reminds me of something. I can't remember what it is that it reminds me of, but it reminds me of something. Take, that out. So the reason I was struggling between 21 and 23 is because they both have a neutral undertone, so it was really the shade that I was trying to make a decision on. I usually shade match to my chest. Obviously your chest is going to be a little lighter, so 21 is the same shade that I use the liquid on, so that's the reason I picked that up first to begin with. I'm thinking, I wonder if the shades correlate to what you wear in the liquid being the same that you would wear in the stick. And then I picked up that shade because it's the shade that I assume matches to my chest. But then I saw 23 and I was like, well, it is also summer, so you know, everyone's just naturally darker right now anyway. Swatch them both on. When I first swatched them on my hand, 21 would look like it would be too light, and then 23 looks like it would be too dark. But that's also why you blend things in to see what they're really going to look like, because when it dries down, I feel like for the most part, like for someone who especially doesn't pay attention as much, or you know, doesn't know as much when it comes to like shade matching and stuff like that, I feel like most people wouldn't even be able to know that there were two shades next to each other on my hand. But when they both blend out, they both blend in. So then it was just like, okay, do I want a shade that, you know, matches to my chest? Do I want a shade that matches but it's a little darker, like it would match the outside of my face, and then one shade would match like the inside of my face? So I went with 21. We'll see how that goes on my entire face, but I feel like if you use me for a shade match and you don't like 21 as a match, or you do like the whole your foundation being a little darker because you are going to lighten it up with concealer, then you'll probably like 23. So really creamy, really creamy. Okay, let's give a real simple beat on the face today because it's already late in the day, but this is what it's looking like on my face. We got foundation, powder, concealer, bronzer, not in that order. It is 1:37, so I'm gonna go. I'll check in later in the day. I'll try. It's already afternoon. See why I like starting on time in the morning, but I will check in later so you can see how this held up on my face. It is already hot outside, so we'll see if it's weather appropriate, and my thoughts on this, especially compared to the liquid. Bye. All right, y'all, I gotta go ahead and wrap it up for the day because one second I'm sitting here, I'm chilling, it's good. The next, God done sent the flood again. Like, it's once a week at this point that there is a tsunami down here in Georgia. I ain't moved here for all this, all right? I ain't moved here for the rain. I like rain when you can just sit inside and chill, not when it's like this. So before it is literally like 8 p.m. dark, actually 9 p.m. dark in here. It is 5:26. This is my face looks like. Honestly, truly, I feel like it's giving the skin tint, but in a stick version, like very, very, very similar from the shade match. I do think if you wear one shade in the liquid, you can wear it in the stick version. But from everything from the finish to how it looks on the skin, how it wears on the skin is giving very similar, to the point where I'm really standing here like, what is the difference between these two? I think there's a slight difference, just which I'll get to in a second. But let me just reread what it says it's supposed to do, and then if it reminds me of any of that, or if I notice any of that. Do you hear that? Baby, God bless the girlies going to Beyonce Day in Atlanta on day 2 today, because I mean, I would be right there in that rain. But crease proof, blurred smooth, second skin finish, resist fading and transferring, easy to use, helps stay hydrated all day. Okay, so we're about like what, 4 hours in whatever you call this summer. This is not a normal summer, this type of heat. I would say we're a little past where it kind of like, you know, melts into your skin and really settles in. Now I think like it's legit my oil that is starting to show here, right? Especially like this area right here, my forehead, and like right above my eyebrows are usually where I get the most oil if I do produce oil. If you guys can see that, if I were to blot that, it easily goes away. But also the one thing I would say that would bother me about this product is that it does transfer a little easily. Now there's not that much. You see how like there's that piece right there, that much? That was this area here in my nose where product would build up. So coming back, I feel like the thing I was going to say the most is that I noticed that there's a little transfer in this. Is that thunder? But for a cream product, I would say this isn't that bad after 5 hours. And granted, this is not the most, you know, mattifying. The other products that I'm using, it's not the most mattifying. So for that's what it is. I was thinking about that, like, what is that difference? I, for some reason, was not remembering this is a cream product. I'm thinking like natural finish, all that I'm remembering, but I'm not remembering that it's a cream product. And now that I am remembering it's a cream product, I feel like the difference between the liquid and this skin tint is that the liquid is like your skin but better, but it's still a liquid-y foundation. Because, you know, skin tints usually are supposed to be the amount of coverage where if you mix a little bit of pigment in with your like moisturizer, stuff like that, that's the type of coverage that skin tints give you, right? Skin tint is supposed to be that kind of very sheer coverage. You know, you can put it on, you can still see any spots that you have, anything like that on your face. The Fenty liquid skin tint is pretty close to being, you know, like medium coverage, like right out of the tube. You can get really sheer if you want, but I feel like as far as foundation goes, if you are looking for the type of skin tint that gives you that just kind of like, you just kind of gloss something over, that liquid's not really doing that for you. It's not full coverage. Well, it can be full coverage if you wanted to. So I'm not saying it's a full coverage liquid skin tint, but there's definitely a little more pigment in that liquid skin tint than, you know, someone who is really going for a skin tint because they want that more so skincare aspect of it as opposed to makeup pigment coverage in it. Whereas this one, I feel like the cream aspect of this is giving you that makeup, like, no, it's makeup, but because it's cream, it's going to blend into your skin to give you that kind of I woke up like this type of vibe. So there's just a little bit more coverage in this as far as being a skin tint in a stick. Like this right out of the tube is medium full. The liquid skin tint is medium sheer. That's the real difference between these two, because other than that, there's not much of a difference. The skin tint, if not prepped well as far as your skin goes, as far as how you set it, powder, stuff like that, it can also, you know, show your oil as you start to produce during the day, even though it is a skin tint. And I do think there is a little transfer with the liquid skin tint as well. So I honestly feel like that is the only difference between these two. I think I say this all the time when I'm reviewing stick foundations. I like skin tint. Too many tints, sticks in this. I like stick foundations. I usually joke that stick foundations usually do not like me because of the finish of them. They are usually a little bit more of a cream formula. With my oily skin, it just takes a lot more to make sure it's not going to move throughout the day, anything like that. But I love the finish of them. I love the finish of cream products in general. I have tried some matte stick foundations before, like the MAC one is a really nice matte one, so that works out for me. But like Mented, I don't remember if Mented is a matte finish, but the Mented stick foundation is also one that works really well for me. So when I find a stick foundation that does work well, Huda also has a good stick foundation. I really jump on those because I love the finish of those. They give very much so skin. If you guys haven't noticed lately, especially with that last video I uploaded where I used 2 concealers, one for foundation, one for concealer, I've been digging the whole, like, I could put this on and it literally just looks like, you know, I color corrected my skin. Like, it's looking like skin. Even if I don't add blush and all that other contour stuff like that, like if I really just wanted like a kind of like what filters do when you put them on TikTok or Instagram, just kind of that like blurred effect, and it just kind of looks like your skin but better. You woke up like this, but you know, I do have at least 2 layers on my face right now. That's what I've been going for lately, and I think that's why I like these products. What powder did I use today? Huda. I used the Huda powder. Definitely gonna play around, see what it would look like if I use the Patrick Star one size powder to set that area, just so I could get that full maximum, like I really need you to contain this. But again, for the formulation of this, for the time of year that I am trying this, because before this rain, baby, I like it. I like to finish this. Which one do I like more? The liquid skin tint or the cream skin tint? The liquid. I think, again, just for, like I said before, there's a little bit more coverage in here, and the skin tint liquid I love for like traveling. The packaging makes it very easy. Now this packaging does make it very easy to travel with this as well, but you know, it's kind of that like plastic like squish tube thing, so you'll be fine traveling with that. The coverage that it gives you, the finish of it all, I think, and again, this is my first time trying this, so that could change, but for right now I think I like the liquid better, but I like them. And yeah, y'all, that is it for this video. So I hope seeing me test this out has helped. If any of you want to check it out for yourself, make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bell down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.